Playoff Sunday continues at the Lowe's Motor Speedway today for the running of the UAW GM Quality 500, the second race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series round of 12. Last Sunday at Talladega, Jeff Gordon got another win to be the first driver to punch his ticket into the round of 8. Last time out at Charlotte, it was a pretty bizarre finish with Casey Kane, of all people, winning. But that was not a playoff-eligible win. So, last time out at a intermediate racetrack, we got to go all the way back. Oh, God, I don't even remember. So, sunny afternoon, gorgeous day for a race here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway for the 500-mile race. Let's go trackside.
Joe Moore and Barney Hall coming to you live from the Mecca of Motorsports, Lowe's Motor Speedway, for today's NASCAR Winston Cup race, the UAW GM Quality 500. Barney, this is a hometown crowd for a lot of these drivers.
A lot of these teams are based in this area. This is a 2,000-acre dream come true for any NASCAR fan. I don't think there's a bad seat anywhere in the place. There's always great racing to go along with it.
The Hills Brothers Coffee Car will try for another top 5 finish in this one.
Well, his team is real excited about their success so far. In fact, I believe they'll have another top 5 race as long as he keeps his car out of trouble.
Jeff Burton is clinging to a top 10 points position coming into this race.
Yeah, he needs to focus on this race. A poor finish can quickly bounce you out of the top 10, but a win can gain you several positions, might even put you in the top 5. We'll see what happens.
In 1993, Bobby Labonte finished second to Jeff Gordon in the Rookie of the Year battle.
You know, that's a pretty good rookie class. At first, Gordon's accomplishments overshadowed Bobby's, but Labonte had been a solid contender for the title in each of the last few years.
In the front row are the Dale Jr. Chevrolet and the Target Dodge. In the second row are the Altel Ford and the GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 3 are the 37 car and the 23 car. The Hills Brothers Coffee Car, leading the points race, will start from the 8th place. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the Haviland Ford and the Team Rusty Ford. The 6th row has the Sprint Dodge and the M&M's Pontiac. In row 7 are the 46 car and the UPS Ford. Starting the race from row 8 are the Ganassi Racing Dodge and the Mark Martin Ford. And in row 9 are the UAW Delphi Chevrolet and the Motorcraft Ford. Starting in row 10 will be the DuPont Chevrolet and the Lowe's Chevrolet. In row 11 are the 26 car and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. In row 12 are the Citgo Ford and the Caterpillar Dodge. Row 13 finds the Kellogg Chevrolet and the Rubbermaid Ford. The 14th row has the Home Depot Pontiac and the Singular Wireless Chevrolet. In row 15 are the 27 car and the 16 car. Starting Starting the race from row 16 are the Valvoline Pontiac and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Row 17 has the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. Starting in row 18 will be the 17 car and the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. In row 19 are the Kodak Chevrolet and the Square D Chevrolet. In row 20 are the 98 car and the Tide Ford. Back in row 21, we have the BAM Racing Dodge and the Cheerios Dodge. And rounding out the field is the 30 car.
That's your starting lineup for today's UAW GM Quality 500. So, Earnhardt Jr. won the pole here on Thursday night with a lap of 30.96. We will give you updates on the playoff drivers throughout the night, or throughout the day, I should say. Obviously, guys like Jeff Gordon don't have to worry too much. They're automatically through to the next round because Gordon won last Sunday at Talladega. Guys like Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Rudd, Rusty Wallace should be sweating. Pace car is off, and we're green here at Lowe's. Lap 1's in the books, and it looks like Dale Jr. is already starting to take off and hide going into turn 1. Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, playoff driver following him. Harvick's got plenty of points to advance because he had that nice run last Sunday at Talladega. See, Dillon had to really check up on Jimmy Spencer to avoid running into the back of him going into turn 3. There's about a second gap as everybody immediately glues it to the bottom of the track through the corners and out towards turn 2. Looks like already single file for pretty much first through about 8th or 9th, I should say, as Dillon's just trying to settle in. He's definitely sawing on that wheel. He's all over the back of Jimmy Spencer for 4th, trying to get him loose. Got Kevin Harvick there in 3rd. And Spencer on the high side, he's going to lose 4th. You can put Dillon to the 4th spot. Now it looks like the top 4 are starting to settle down a little bit. Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Newman, who were eliminated in the first round at Bristol, they're just riding and logging laps. Currently, the highest playoff driver is the 83 of Dylan Murway. Highest in terms of qualifying would be the 29 of Kevin Harvick, who has not won at all this year. Kind of a shocking 2002 season after the impressive run of winning the Busch Championship and competing in every race except the Daytona 500 in his rookie season. And we obviously know why he wasn't in the 500 and why he stepped up because of tragic circumstances involving the 7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt. Speaking of which, his son's doing pretty good early on. He's already got about almost had a little over 3/4 of a second on second place Dylan Murway. Newman was able to get around Harvick off of turn 4, as we saw. for position. Got one slow car at the back. Looks like he's off the pace a little bit. I can't tell who it is. It might be Mike Skinner in the 4. As he's still on the track. NASCAR obviously is monitoring that situation. As Dillon closed in big off Earnhardt Jr. going into turn 3, he's going to probably have the spot here. Even though, look at that. It's an inverted version of his car. Because Junior's got that red and black with the stripes on the side. The 83 of Dylan Murway's got a black base with the red outline and white stripes. And Dylan Murway just took the lead off turn 2, so he can put Dylan back to the point. And that just took Bobby Labonte, who was, as we mentioned, Labonte was already in that hole. That buried him even further. So Marlin would be the first guy out as of right now. We'll be watching his update along with Ricky Rudd. Those were the two drivers that are kind of around that cut line. Harvick with a good run he had last Sunday at Talladega. He's got some pretty good insurance. He just needs to have a good run here to advance himself as Newman slams the wall off of turn 4. Tried to get underneath the 83. Ended up slamming very hard into that wall. And I wonder if nothing's broke in the steering. That was some pretty heavy contact. Dylan's trying to take the lead away from Earnhardt Jr. He's got about half a nose under him, but Jr. just seems to have better momentum on the high side. Until now, as Dylan charges the cold contact. Heavy contact. Jr. gets really loose, and he's going backwards by at least 2 seconds. You can put the 83 back to the point. Now he's got 2 seconds on Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll see how long that lasts here early on in the UAW GM Quality 500. 13 laps are being worked on right now. Dale Jr. has controlled most of the early stretch of this race. After that little early incident in turn 2, Junior is well off the pace. He's almost 3 seconds back now, last we checked. Junior is starting to close in by a little over a second now. And the top 5's pretty much unchanged. Harvick's hanging on in 4th. Newman's there in 3rd. And yeah, can't really think of anything else there. Oh, contact. Dylan got the wall off 4. And Junior really closed in. Ricky Rudd is in 4th right now. That's the only major change right now. Harvick is battling a loose race car. This run is what Ricky Rudd needs if he wants to advance to the round of 8. Guys like Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, obviously Gordon, Dylan Murway, those guys have a lot of points built up throughout the year. But in a moment with this win and you're in format, that can go sideways in a hurry. 17 laps currently being worked on right now, 16 complete. Junior was able to close that 2-second gap as they head back towards turn 3. And he's got a huge run. He's going to try to take the lead maybe going into turn 1. Junior going to the inside. And he's on the outside, trying to get some momentum on the top lane. You know, the way this track is currently being run, everybody's gluing it right to the bottom. Ricky Rudd and Kevin Harvick battling for 4th. They've been getting a little racy. $18 laps complete. Earnhardt Jr. looking very aggressively for the lead. He's got one going top to bottom, and he's kept him behind. Very smooth corner exit for the 83. And this just brought Ricky Rudd and Ryan Newman back into the picture. So now we got a 4-car battle for the race lead shaping up. Newman trying to get a run on the inside of the 8. Newman's there. Oh, Dillon got a little squirrely. Here comes the 12 contact. More contact. Dillon gets the lead back. Almost another moment between the 83 and the 12. Newman had to get out of the gas to avoid crashing. $20 laps complete here at Charlotte. Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. So far it's been clean and green all 20 laps. Dylan Murway and Dale Jr. have consistently controlled the afternoon. So they head back towards turn 1. Junior to the inside. Ooh, big moment there. Contact. Dillon had to give Junior plenty of room to avoid sliding into him. Now this just got the top 5 even closer now. Everybody in the top 5 separated by about half a second going into turn 1. Rudd's back there. Harvick. I see Sterling Marlin as well, possibly. They're in the 40s, so this brings that playoff battle. Marlin is 2 points out. As of right now, I think we saw Marlin there in the mirror. Now they're neck and neck on the track. Harvick's fallen out of the top 5. He's definitely battling some handling issues with his car. Oh, contact again. Newman way out of shape there. We got 2 cars back way off the pace. I can't tell which ones. Now Ricky Rudd to the lead. Almost. Oh, contact. Rudd into the wall. Big crash. Junior's in it. And it looks like more piling in. I think so they race back to the first caution here on lap 26. Rudd comes up, slams into Earnhardt Jr. Oh, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin are caught up in this. So that's 3 playoff drivers taken out in one crash. That was a hard shot for Ricky Rudd as he shot from the apron all the way up the racetrack and hard hit. So that ends the day for 3 drivers right there and 2 playoff drivers. We did say earlier about Mark Martin having the surplus of points that he built up over the year and him being the regular season champ and all. That may help you, but another run like that and you're in the cellar and you're fighting for a spot in the championship 4. Dylan washes up the track. Here comes the 12th with Ryan Newman. There's Rusty Wallace. He is still in the playoffs, but not by much. He's second man out as contact happens again. And it looks like Newman got very loose there on the tri-oval. Everybody straightens out. Now we got a 3-car battle between Rusty Wallace and Kevin Harvick and Dylan Murway. 2:29.83. Dylan had to get out of the gas. Harvick's on the high side, trying to take the lead. Harvick with a run, contact made. Still dead heat here at the line. Jimmy Johnson, who pretty much is in win now mode if he wants to keep his season alive. He's up there in the top 5. Harvick gets loose. He has to back out of it. There comes Rusty. He gets a huge run coming into 3. Now it's a crossover. Rusty's going to lead that lap. Contact made. Oh, and a trouble. Turn 2. It looks like Rusty Wallace, both the Penske drivers are involved in this. And the big one strikes again at Charlotte. Quite a few cars involved in this. I think I saw Newman. And that was after Rusty hit the wall and got squirrely. And that caused everyone else behind him to check up and run into each other. That's 2 big wrecks. It looks like it's just a 2-teammate deal as everybody gets woed down. There's a 3rd car involved in that. Can't really tell because of the angle. So it looks like we're going to have pit stops here. So 2 big wrecks early on. Have pretty much flipped this race on its head. So pace car is off. Jimmy Johnson is your race leader. We'll go ahead and see how the playoff picture virtually may have just got flipped on its head right now. 2 big wrecks taking out many playoff hopefuls. And pit stops really flipped the strategy on its head. Look at that. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon back in the top 30. Rusty Wallace, 39th. He was in that wreck. So we'll see how things shake out. In fact, we found out why that things are like that. We'll take a look at the news shortly. They're saying while they were under yellow that they got Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon both for speeding on pit road. So that means that will put them at the back of the pack. as we're down to 39 cars because of 2 big wrecks. Again, Jimmy Johnson is your race leader, so we got 4 chase contenders in the top 5 right now. The only non-chase driver who was eliminated from the playoffs in the round of 16 was the 99 of Jeff Burton. Dylan closing up on the 48 of Johnson, maybe trying to take the lead from him. Dylan to the inside. Dale Jarrett making his way into the top 5. Oh, he charges the corners. We got another caution. Contact. Johnson into the wall. Hold on. And back towards turn number 1 again. The caution has come out. Contact. Johnson gets the wall as they make their way down the back. About a second and a half between those two. Johnson loses a couple spots. Here comes Dale Jarrett to the caution flag. This is the 3rd one today. After a clean 20 or so laps, it was Burton that lost the hood in the 99, and it wasn't the 28 of Ricky Rudd. As they get framed, set for another quick restart. Dylan will lead him down. Slow start that time. That's one of those starts that turns people around and stacks everybody out. Dylan's been notorious for doing that. If he keeps that up, he's gonna get ran over one day. As Dylan, speaking of which, he gets way loose on Dale Jarrett. He almost hit the wall. Jarrett had to go downstairs to avoid. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Oh, hard to the wall off the corner. Everybody gets back out of it. Jarrett with a huge run. A little bit of contact going into turn 1. Harvick and Jimmy Johnson on the outside. Jimmy Johnson, as of right now, he has to win if he wants to keep his season alive and not have to worry about Kansas next week. Harvick getting crowded all the way to the apron. He still forces his way past to take the lead. And as Jarrett gets moved out of the way to lose second, Harvick and Murway 1-2 here at Lowe's. Brief recap up to this point. We are watching the battle between Marlin and Ricky Rudd to see who advances in the playoffs. It's been a rather interesting day. The first 20 laps or so were caution-free. They were clean and green. It was controlled by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Dylan Murway, and then 2 big crashes back-to-back have essentially flipped this race on its head. And then the recent caution was for Jeff Burton in the 99 ball, losing the hood. As Ricky Rudd falls out of the top 5. Dylan, he basically cut the line in half. He's all the way on the bottom, side by side off of 2. Oh, he gets very squirrely. One into 3. Everybody gets out of it. Dylan's still holding even with Kevin Harvick. Harvick's got the points. He is currently in the round of 8 as of right now. excellent runs are going to help him advance. As of right now, he is third on playoff grid in points. Jarrett's still in the top 5. Martin, after being taken out in that early accident, did lose some points. He's going to have at least a finish in the 40s. Harvick hits the wall coming out of turn at the start-finish line. Looks like everybody settles down for now. Dillon's got a huge gap on Kevin Harvick now. He threw 3 and 4 onto the front stretch. He's got about a second over Dale Jarrett now. Now Tony Stewart's into the picture. Caution in turn 2. And it's another debris yellow. Johnson is going to battle with Dillon coming off turn 4. Contact is made, and Dillon will escape with the lead coming to the line. As the 4th caution flag of the afternoon. And it is for Ricky Rudd. So to recap up to this point, we've had 2 cautions for big crashes in opposite ends of the track, 2 yellows for debris. Contact Harvick off of turn 2. He's going to lose multiple spots just to get it gathered under him. Here comes Tony Stewart on the high side. He would love to win and advance into the round of 8. Same with Jimmy Johnson. He barely escapes after Dillon ends up getting loose coming off of turn 4. Bill Elliott with a nice run today. We haven't really mentioned a whole lot from him this season. Here comes Tony Stewart with a big run. Going deep, contact. Stewart gets into Jarrett. Dillon, oh, he's into the wall. Again. Somehow they stay straight. Johnson back to the lead here at Lowe's. Dillon forces his way past the 48. Here comes Tony Stewart. Contact again. Dillon almost cut through the grass to avoid the something. I don't know what it was. Now we're back to 2 cars breaking away. Here at the front, Jimmy Johnson, 48. Dale Jarrett, 88. Top 2 here at Lowe's. Seems fitting that the Lowe's car is dominating at a track that sponsors him. Basically. Seems pretty fitting. 25 to go here at the UAW GM Quality 500, the annual Fall Classic here at Lowe's. It is announced that next year's schedule, the running of this event will take place on a Saturday night in primetime television. For the first time, the Fall Classic will be run at night, compared to traditionally being run on a early fall Sunday, I should say. Definitely a nice change of pace to get some more viewers on Saturday night. Obviously, a lead into Jay Leno's programming would help. And Saturday Night Live as well. Typically for years, the All-Star race has been a night race since about 1992 at this track. And the Coca-Cola 600, many people say it starts in the afternoon, but it ends at night as the caution comes out. For something. I think it might be debris because somebody cut a tire and just dropped off the pace. As they race back to the caution flag for the 5th time today. Dylan Murway will race back, take the lead with Ricky Craven in 3rd. And that was Ricky Rudd again, using part of his car. You see it kind of stacked everybody up in the back. I can't really tell who it is. Somebody dropped way to the inside. They didn't really show that because of the camera angle. Huge start that time. Big. That was a big jam up. I think somebody at the back's got some heavy radiator damage out of all this because they ran to the back of the car in front of them. Very slow start going into turn 1. Ricky Craven has now become a new player in this race. He's on the bottom next to Dale Jarrett. Johnson getting a huge run. Murway blocked him all the way to the apron. Now he's way up out of the groove. Here comes the 32 car of Ricky Craven to try to take second. Contact made. Ooh, Dylan had to really charge it in there deep from avoiding a crash. He's got about maybe a couple tenths of a second between him and the 48. Got Dale Jarrett on the inside there. In 3rd, see how he does. 15 laps to go here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where they're running the UAW GM Quality 500. Dylan Murway trying to block. He's playing aggressive. He knows what's on the line. Jarrett on the apron. He gets loose. Johnson gets loose. Somehow they get out of it. Believe it or not. About a tenth of a second between first and 4th. Because of all this, Johnson gets loose again. Somehow he hasn't turned the 83 because of how aggressive he's been on the blocks today, and especially on this restart. $14 to go now. after the chaos of this past few restarts. Everybody seems to have settled down. Johnson closes up again. They're saying the red flag lap, anything past that might end this race. Well, red flag lap this afternoon, or this week, will be lap 78. Johnson goes to the lead off of turn 2. Going all the way downstairs on the 48. He's definitely clipping part of the quad oval. I don't really count it a pass in the grass, but he's clipped it and he's taken advantage to try to barely force himself past the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And another caution. This time it's debris by the looks of it. Looks like it's the 6th caution of the afternoon. Off of Ricky Rudd again. It's amazing NASCAR hasn't black flagged him yet. We're gonna have a 8-lap and 9-lap restart. Oh, big contact! Huge jam up. Dillon didn't go. And that didn't even work. That didn't even work. There's a lot of cars with heavy front end damage after this. Oh, Johnson hard into the wall. Rudd gets into Dillon. Bounces back. They're still wrecking. Somehow, nobody wrecked out of all this. And forced another restart. We're a few laps away from the red flag lap. Anything past that would end the race. Here comes Craven. He definitely had a nose on the 83. And that was part of the reason why Dillon almost wrecked off of 2. And here comes Craven to try to challenge for the lead. Dillon cuts him off again. 3 wide coming off of turn 4. Craven back to the point. 6 to go. Dillon gets into Craven, who goes around in turn 1. In a hard crash. Jimmy Johnson's in it. That's one of the playoff drivers. Caution's out again. We're going to have a 3-lap dash if they can clean this up quick enough. Wow. How about Jeff Gordon? Watch this. This basically happened right in front of him, and he just got by that. Rebounding after a speeding penalty earlier today. 2-lap shootout at Lowe's. Green flag back into the air. Jarrett with a good run. I don't think Dillon's got enough momentum to catch Dale Jarrett. Elliott to the outside. That's Jeff Gordon up there in the top 5. He's looking to challenge. Elliott into the wall off of turn 2. Another block again going into turn 3. They come out of turn 4. Dale Jarrett has basically cleared the competition, and he is well on his way to his 2nd win of the year. Last lap at Lowe's. Look at the damage to the 83. They come out at turn 4. Dale Jarrett is through to the round of 8 today with a win here at Lowe's. Tony Stewart second. Dylan Murway loses a hood at the checkers. It looks like we got a big stack up in turn 1.
Well, it kept the field close, which I'm sure made it extra exciting for the fans.
The Hills Brothers coffee car got into some trouble and did some damage to his car.
You know, some of these teams have multiple cars, and a race like this won't set them back too far. It's the guys who have only 1 or 2 cars that suffer the most. But hey, it'll make you learn to take care of your car in a hurry.
We hope you enjoyed today's race as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Next up is Kansas.
And playoff drama just got interesting. Jimmy Johnson at this point in time has to win to advance into the round of 8. And the driver that ran over the debris, it looks like might be the 9 of Bill Elliott. Dale Jarrett wins today at Lowe's. Tony Stewart second. Dylan Murway third. Jeff Gordon fourth. Bill Elliott fifth. Awesome run for him. Good run for Jimmy Spencer. Good and better run for Kevin Harvick. Exactly what I mentioned earlier in the race. He needs this performance to advance. Robbie Gordon 9th, and Kurt Busch will round out the top 10. Look at the caution flags. 7 caution flags today. Matt Kenseth with a good run. Ricky Rudd finishes 12th. We're watching that battle with him and Sterling Marlin. You could probably factor Bobby Labonte into this, even though he is in the same boat as Jimmy Johnson. He's not in dire straits. Rusty Wallace, Aaron 23rd. He needs a win if he wants to advance into the round of 8. And look at this. Jimmy Johnson survived. He made it. So Sterling Marlin is out. Mark Martin's points gap took a bit of a hit today. So Jimmy Johnson, Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, and Bobby Labonte are the first 4 out. So Sterling Marlin is in arguably must-win territory if he wants to have a shot at making it into the round of 8. Bobby Labonte needs a good run. Rusty Wallace, he's kind of in the same boat as well. Labonte's goal, hope Ricky Rudd is a problem heading into next week's race at Kansas. See the awards for the week. Bill Elliott passed the most cars. Jimmy Johnson at the EA Sports Fast Lap. Dylan Murway is the best rookie of the race, and Robbie Gordon made the best pass. I'd arguably would have given it to Jeff Gordon for that Matrix-like move he pulled on that last yellow. So Chevrolet is pretty much locked up the Manufacturers' Championship at this point if they keep rattling off wins, and Dylan Murway is pretty much locked up the EA Sports Lap Champion Award as well. So see you next Sunday, noon Eastern from Kansas.